Excited to perform for you.
Hello and welcome to the Towson Sports Network. First of all, hi, how are you? And quite a busy day now, and some breaking news here as we get ready for Towson Gymnastics. What started out as a tri-meet with Towson, Temple, and GW has now, within the last, Tandy?
5 minutes?
5 minutes, has turned into a dual meet. GW being forced to pull out due to contact tracing within the GW program. We're still gathering details, but what we do know is as all was unfolding, there is no danger or no safety issues with Towson and Temple. Even though GW was here in the gym, it was a contact tracing from a GW close contact that was not present in the gym tonight. But because of contact tracing, GW does need to leave. That will obviously determine whether or not GW is here on Sunday, and you can be sure that Towson and Temple will be put through the proper procedures as well. But now that we settled that, so it'll be Towson, it'll be Temple, the two TUs going at it here tonight in CQ. I'm Ben Rosenbaum. I don't think we've covered that yet. Tandy Knight is here. Zoe Packard is here. I mean, guys, just immediate reaction. That's a crazy curveball.
I mean, I think we have to just constantly expect the unexpected here. GW went through their entire warm-up, was literally getting ready to march out when the news broke that someone connected to the program, although not here in the gym, tested positive. I mean, it's crazy.
It's
and
wild.
We were sitting here going, are they going to have to cancel the whole meet?
Right.
Thank goodness the protocols say we don't have to. But like you said, it will affect the meet on Sunday as well. We'll have to wait and see. So I feel so bad for GW.
Yeah.
They have had a very short season already. I think when I was kind of going through the numbers, they don't even have enough meets under their belt to technically get their national qualifying score, because you have to have so many meets and then you throw out the high and you throw out the low. They don't even have enough to do that, and this is going to affect them even more going into the postseason.
Yep. Zoe, from a gymnast standpoint, for the teams that are still here, Towson and Temple, how does that affect? Because I mean, obviously it's not like a basketball or lacrosse where you're competing head-to-head, but it still affects you in a way where you knew a team was supposed to be here, and that's in the back of your mind now that, oh man, GW's out. How do you have to reset? How do you have to refocus? On top of that, tonight, the first night, fans allowed inside CQ Arena, so it's a whole different environment, and it's literally changing beneath our feet at the moment.
Exactly. Right now, it's all about these teams staying in their bubble. Towson and Temple both need to focus on what they're doing and what's in their control. Of course, it's terrible that GW had to be pulled out, but the safety and well-being of all athletes involved and coaches and everyone in CQ, it's important that the protocols are followed. But right now, it's just Towson needs to focus on what they're doing on vault and have fun. The fans are here. It's the first time all year. Their family members are here to cheer them on, and I'm sure they're ready to have fun and get to it.
And Tandy, you and I have talked about it, and Zoe, I know you know, it's a different environment. I mean, Tandy, you and I were saying at that first meet, it was very strange, it was very weird, no fans, but now you're going to get that energy in the arena. And if you're a gymnast, you kind of have to reset yourself, especially if you're Towson, because you're used to kind of it being quiet now in CQ. Now it's going to get a little louder.
I mean, I don't think that'll be a hindrance at all.
No.
Just to clarify for those of you who are listening, it was only family members of the team allowed in tonight.
Correct.
So for those of you going, wait, why couldn't I come? That is why. It's parents and siblings. So, you know, unfortunately, the rest of this season, that's going to continue that way. We have one more home meet. But next season, we're ready for everyone to come back. But it should be interesting to see, to have a little bit of cheering in the stands tonight.
But look at it this way. While you guys don't get to be here in CQ, the people in CQ don't get the three of us. So there's that.
See, look at that.
There you go.
They don't get to hear our amazing commentary.
So looking very quickly before we have to hit a break, but looking at the last time out, ironically, Towson against GW in DC, a narrow loss on the overall, but Towson looking to rebound from that tonight, have a little bit of a better going, and we'll step aside very quickly as we get ready for our first rotation.
Love is love.
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 Hey Tiger fans, our first rotation is Vault. Vault is an event that requires speed, quickness, and explosive power. This event is a fast one, so be sure to keep your eyes on the runway. There are 3 ways to enter the vault table: forward, sideways, and backwards. Each vault has a different start value, with the most difficult being out of a 10.0. We need to maintain a tight body before and after touching the table and strive to maintain motionless or stick the landing at the end. Even from home, when you see us present at the end of the runway, clap along with the rest of the team as we run toward the table. Let's go Tigers!
All right, welcome back. Ben Rosenbaum, Tandy Knight, Zoe Packard, and with all the craziness, I did forget, so forgive me to mention, as we went into that, you saw a message from the Towson gymnastics team. Love is love. Tonight, the Pride Meet for Towson Gymnastics, and then we are now ready to go. So what has turned into a dual meet between the Tigers and Temple Owls. Towson will start on the vault. Temple will start on the floor. The vault lineup for the Tigers is Wheats, Brukowski, Zulke, Bolin, Vitov, and Stewart. First up on floor for Temple will be Tori Edwards, followed by Shugman, Donabedian, Castrance, Roland, and Leary. And if you're a Temple fan or a GW fan who's deciding to stick around, the way a Towson meet will work is we will show as we're underway. Jenna Wheats is off and running.
Wow, great start. I mean, just good amplitude. She did pike down slightly. There'll be a little deduction there, but it was a great first vault to kick off this competition.
And so what I was saying, we will show each Towson routine in its entirety. We will obviously get to Temple in between, but we'll probably see most of the floor routines here for Temple as you see another look at Wheats.
Yes.
This is Tori Edwards.
Wow, opens with a front double twist. That's a very difficult skill. Nice start on floor.
Looks like it's a 9.75 for Jenna on the vault. We get back over to vault with Borkowski.
Wow, beautiful vault. Great form in the air, straight body landing, just a hop on the landing. It's about the only deduction I saw.
One more quick look at Nikki Borkowski.
You see here the amplitude she gets off, lands chest completely up. Great job.
Back over to Edwards on the floor.
Does a 1.5 to a front layout. Very nice routine on floor for Temple to start off with.
And that was Tori Edwards, and we'll await Allison Zulke here.
Looks like it's another 9.75 for Towson for Nikki on vault.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little low. I would have gone more 9.8.
Scoreboard says 9.9.
Oh, well, I'll take that.
Yeah, sure. I don't think that's accurate at the moment.
I like the scoreboard better.
There is a little lull here as we get set for Zulke. I think we're set to go. Next up on the floor will be Renee Shugman, but here is Zulke.
Wow, that's one of the better Zulke 2s I have seen this season. For those of you just tuning in, her vault is a lot different than the other vaults you're going to see. Instead of approaching with a round-off entry, she approaches with a front handspring and then does a good old-fashioned souk full off the backside there. It was a great vault.
This is now Renee Shugman.
opens with a 1.5 to a front full. Nice height on that jump series.
9.625 for Allison Zolke.
I think one of the issues with that vault is judges don't know how to score it. It is such a unique vault. It catches them off guard. So unless they've watched her during warm-ups or whatever, they're not quite sure what it is sometimes, I think.
Lauren Bolin.
Wow. Lauren has been so solid on vault all season. And again, another one. Tried to stick the landing, did take a slight step, but that should score well.
One more look at Bolin. Shugman finished it up on floor.
Great form in the air. Just, I think she was really just going for that stick. Took a little step.
Camille Vitoff will be next. Brooke Donabedian will be next on the floor for Temple. Not sure if you could pick up the PA announcements, but we have a third Tiger Gymnast alum working tonight. Lauren Cahalan doing the PA here inside CQ Arena.
You can't keep us alum away.
No. You guys got keys or something.
Yeah,
Keep
we
getting
do.
in.
Well, we just know all the secret entrances.
There you go. 9.775 for Bolin.
So again, in my opinion, a low score, but what I'm gonna say is the vault judges are consistently low tonight. So I wish they weren't towards the end of the season. We'd like to be getting our top scores, but if they're consistent across the board, I'm not gonna complain.
This is Donabedian. This is Vitoff, though, on the vault.
Oh, wow. Beautiful Yurchenko 1.5 twist. I honestly, that was so floaty and pretty. I thought she was going to stick it. She just took a slight step back.
One more look at Vitoff.
Cammie and this vault team, they have really raised the level of Towson vault. Historically, our worst event, hate to use that word, and they have turned it into their strongest event in under 2 seasons. Really impressive.
And I really think this is just a start for this vault team.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Right now, we only have 2 10-0 start values, and I know Jay won 6 of them. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they are in the works.
And it's also just a confidence thing, too, am I right? I mean, and what Jay has done in the last 2 years is really just inject confidence into this roster. You see it. They're a little more forceful, a little more sure of themselves.
Yeah.
That even a novice watcher can see the difference from the last 3 years.
I had a coach that said gymnastics is 10% physical, 90% mental. And Jay really taps into that side with getting these ladies to believe in themselves and work as a team. That's the biggest difference I've seen, is that team chemistry and bonding.
This is Amy Stewart finishing up on vault for Towson.
And there's a prime example of someone who, at the beginning of the season, wasn't really supposed to be in the vault lineup at all, and then had to fill in at a couple of meets, and then the next thing you know, she's in the vault lineup consistently. She knew she was needed, and she, did the work she had to be a contributing member on that vault squad.
So that'll do it
Really
for
amazing.
the Tigers on the vault. We did miss the score for Vitoff. We'll get Stewart here in a moment. Next up will be Ariana Castrins on the floor for Temple as you take a look at the Tigers wrapping up the vault. And also a delay in the scoring for Temple. Got a 9.7 from one judge.
And I think the other was a 9.75, so that would be a 9.725 for Amy. And we'll have to get back to you on
Vitoff,
Cammie's.
yeah. Castrins ready to go.
And she's a local
Yep.
gymnast from Maryland. Love to see that. Double pike, big bounce and went out of bounds, so that will be a deduction after they score the routine. Just a little too much power. Problem I did not have. Front layout to front full, very pretty. This is more of a dramatic routine. I really like the choreography. Finishes with a double tuck and a great landing. She gets a bonus 10th for finishing with that double summy as her last pass. I have a soft spot in my heart for Temple. I was the assistant coach there for 2 years, from 91 to 93. Really, you know, just amazing time for me. As soon as I graduated from Towson, went right into coaching. It was such a learning experience for me. But it was such a great experience, and Temple has done a really good job over the past few seasons of, you know, kind of making themselves more competitive. And now in their first year in the Eagle, you know, they're doing a pretty good job, even though this is a weird season.
Yeah.
You know, they are really coming out and showing us a lot of difficulty and creativity, which is great to see.
Juliana Rowland will be next up. Again, Tigers all finished up. Those scores slowly coming in. We do know the first two, 9.75 each for Wheats and Borkowski. It's a 9.625 for Allison Zulke. Bolin with a 9.775. We didn't see the score for Vitov, but a 9.725 for Amy Stewart. And we've yet to get any floor scores for Temple, as this is Rowland.
Wow, opens with a big double layout.
You don't see those too often.
You don't see those too often in the Eagle, for sure.
Score for Vitov is in. We'll get to that after Rowland finishes up.
This is such a fun routine, just great choreography, that explosive first tumbling pass. 1.5 twist to finish, little stumble on that one. A really fun routine.
That was Juliana Rowland, and going back to cleanup vault here, Cami Vitov, 9.875 for Vitov. She'll lead the way for the Tigers after their first rotation. One more floor routine coming up. It'll be Faith Leary for the Owls. Again, if you're just joining us, GW is supposed to be here. They were here, and due to a positive COVID test within the program, nobody that was present GW is now on their way back to DC, and we wish them well.
And they're sitting in traffic, I'll tell you
Oh,
that much, because
absolutely,
I was
sitting
sitting
in
in the traffic coming up
Yeah.
from DC.
Here's the senior from Cincinnati, Faith Leary. So Towson, after the vault, 4.875.
Front layout to a front 1.5, very pretty.
Temple has some very fun choreography.
I was just going to say that. I've really enjoyed all of their routines, and I'm very picky about choreography because I used to do choreography myself. Finishes with a nice high double tuck.
That's Faith Leary.
Very nice. Little attitude at the end. I love it.
So that'll do it for the first rotation. Towson all done on the vault. Temple wraps up on the floor. We'll get you Temple floor scores when we come back as we go to break here on the Towson Sports Network.
Hey Tiger fans, our next rotation is the uneven bars. You will notice that each routine requires different combinations of skills of different types of skills. We will be swinging, changing directions, releasing the bar and catching it, all while moving back and forth between the two bars. We must face backwards at least once and have 2 different flight skills in each routine, and of course look for us to stick the dismount. Cheer loud from home and let's go Tigers.
Welcome back to the Towson Sports Network. Ben Rosenbaum, Sandy Knight, Zoe Packard here as we get into rotation 2. Temple with a slight lead on the Tigers following their floor routine. The high score for them, Faith Leary with a 9.875. Actually, they scored pretty well all the way through. Donna Bedian and Castrins each with 9.85s. Edwards and Shugman with 9.825s. The low was Roland, 9.625, and I believe she's the one who stepped out during her routine.
She might have been, yeah. Yeah, Temple very impressive on the floor. Zoe was actually mentioning she thinks they're ranked nationally. I think other than the one double layout, it wasn't that there was necessarily like this huge amount of difficulty, but their routines were just choreographed so well, and they are great performers.
Yep.
I enjoyed watching their routines. And that makes a difference when you're judging a routine as well. So great job on floor for Temple. Towson had a strong start on vault though, and now we're getting ready for bars, so.
Yeah, Lauren Bolin will start us off on the bars. Temple is over on the vault.
Nice handstand to start off. Great Takachev. Lauren is our old faithful starter on almost every event. She usually starts on vault, but today we switched it up a little bit. Good handstand to finish. Line full double tuck. Oh, just
So
a little
close.
hop on the landing.
So close.
But it's a great way to start for the Tigers.
All right, take another look here at Lauren Bolin. And we do have a replay of Taylor Newland as well on the vault.
Yeah, just that hop on the landing, so close to a stick.
So here's Newland for Temple.
Big Yurchenko full. Some form breaks, did pike down slightly. I'll be interesting to see how these vaults scored compared to Towson's. This is when we start to see how consistent the judges are throughout the competition. We can start comparing.
Looks like Newland got a 9.75. Still waiting on the score for Bolin. Tess Yentek, one of the two seniors that'll be honored on Sunday, will be next up. Meanwhile, here is Renee Shugman for Temple.
Yurchenko half, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, what we call a stick. There's no question there. It's like she had glue on her feet, and that is a difficult landing also. It's a blind landing, as you'll see in the replay. She can't see the ground. She's got to feel it, and she sure felt it.
We get the score now in from Bolin. It'll be a 9.675 for Lauren Bolin. Still waiting on, or here is Tess Yentek now.
Just a little loose on those handstands, but she's fighting through it. There's a good one. Blind full double tuck. And another small hop on the landing.
For any of you that watched the meet at GW, and Towson was streaming it live on Facebook, Tess hit the bar routine of her life. Great score of a 9.875, one of the top scores in our program history. Tonight's bar routine wasn't quite as strong, but, you know, the potential for her to, you know, hit in the high 9.8s is there.
Here's another look at Tori Edwards on vault.
Got another Yurchenko full. Again, good vault. Very good vault. Comparable to some of the ones that Towson was doing. So let me start catching some scores here to see if we're about the same. And it looks like we are, so at least the judges are being fair.
So next up on the bars will be Vitoff for Towson. Next up on vault will be Madison Brooks, I believe, if I kept my place correctly. Here's Brooks.
Another Yurchenko full, great landing. That vault needed a little more amplitude and distance. She landed really close to the vault, which technically should be a deduction.
Vitoff still waiting the go-ahead. I don't believe we have a score yet for Zientek.
Looks like we might have a start value issue. Looks like one judge gave Tess a 9.8. Tess does a free hip hop on the high bar, and sometimes the judges miss it. Jay loves to make sure he talks to the judges about it afterwards.
Juliana Rowland will be next for Temple on the vault as we still wait on Tess Zientek's score. There's a look at Vitoff, there's a look at Jay Ramirez. And we're gonna have a conference here on the bar, so. See what comes of that. Meanwhile, here's Roland Jr. from Lumberton, New Jersey, as the judging starting to hit a little bit of a rough patch here throughout the meet. Slow goings on vault as well. And here is Roland.
Beautiful beautiful vault. She even flared out slightly at the end. Hop on the landing, so that'll be about the only deduction on that vault. Temple's looking really strong tonight.
Steady through this vault rotation have been the Owls. Another look at Roland. The conference continues. You see three judges in on it now. It's kind of fitting that, of course, you never like to see a team have to pull out of a meet, but kind of fitting that Towson ended up taking on Temple here. And I know it's less about the head-to-head at the end of the day, but the last week or so, Towson and Temple have played each other in about a bunch of different sports. And I think it's been an even split as well. Towson volleyball went to Philly and came back with a win. Towson women's lacrosse dropped a heartbreaker up in Philly. Kevin Kopp on the call for that. His bad luck streak for Towson women's lacrosse continues, and he heard about it. And now here we are. So perhaps this settles the score between these two schools. Because I don't know how much they'll play each other after this in a one-on-one setting. Meanwhile, Ariana Castrance will be ready to go as the conference has subsided on bars. We'll keep an eye on the scores for that. Vitov is ready to go and didn't see the score for Zientek. Just missed it.
It looks like it was a 9-3, so we'll be looking to drop that.
This is Vitov.
Big Ginger.
Straight to an overshoot, which gets her so much bonus. Nice handstand to finish off. Winding up for a huge dismount. So close to a stuck landing. Way to bounce back.
That is Cami Vitov, sophomore from Arizona. One more look at Vitov on the dismount.
Beautiful.
And we'll head over to Castrance on the vault. Another good vault here for the Owls.
Oh!
As they finish.
Where did she come from? I feel like we've watched Temple all season, and that was a Yurchenko double full. I mean, I don't know anybody that does that in the NCAA. Amazing.
So that'll do it for the Owls on the vault. Next up on the bars will be Amy Stewart.
Temple's team scores have been a little all over the place all season. They have meets where they hit, and then they have other meets where they don't. But I think tonight they're definitely on it, and they're gonna bring it. So
yeah, I mean, after these two first events, they're on fire.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see that. I mean, the Eagle Conference has, just gotten more and more competitive every year, and Temple being their first year in, they're proving that they belong. And it's only going to raise the level of the competition overall, which is always what you want to see.
Looks like Cami got a 9.85.
Here comes Amy Stewart now for the Tigers.
Unfortunately missed the Jaeger.
And that hurts, especially when you look back at the Zientek score.
Yeah.
I want to see Towson step up the energy a little bit. I don't know if it's what happened with GW and everything was kind of shaken up with that, but I want to see them be louder, support each other more. The atmosphere needs to pick up a little bit. Looks like Amy's going to start all the way over.
There we go. Can we do like a mulligan in gymnastics like they do in golf? I don't know. I think we should start that movement.
Winding up for the dismount here.
Big.
Beautiful double layout.
So nice recovery from A.V. Stewart, but the fall, we'll see what ends up happening with the final score. Again, Zientek with a low score on the bars. It'll be Grace Valencourt finish things up. Or, excuse me, Grace Valancourt next up. Zulke will finish things up on bars.
And
Well,
it is, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It is important to know that this is Towson's third double weekend in a row. So they've done, this will be 6 meets in a matter of like 3 weeks. That's a lot.
And we were talking earlier, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but I feel like Towson has competed in more meets this season than any other team in the Eagle Conference. Jay was squeezing every time something would get, maybe canceled or postponed. He would squeeze in another. Like this meet here was not on the original schedule. He squeezed it in, and kudos to him, and that they've been able to attend every meet and not have to pull out like GW had to do tonight, unfortunately, or meets that have been canceled. We had another team, William and Mary, that couldn't make it up, more for weather reasons apparently, but he's done a great job with managing the schedule and getting a full team to every competition. It's pretty impressive. But you're right. This is the end of the season. These ladies are tired. Understandably so.
See what the score was here for Amy Stewart following the fall.
And while we're waiting, I just want to say hi to one of the best bar workers Towson has ever seen. Ann Sugden-Wolf, my teammate, Hall of Famer, watching tonight. And also a shout out to Kristen Prezzuti-Callahan, who was a volunteer assistant coach last year, and I think she's with Jamie McDonald. Hi, ladies. Thanks for watching, everyone.
9.25 for Amy Stewart. So the Zentex score will be the score that stays. I believe that was a 9.35, if I remember correctly. So Grace Valancourt now.
This is going to be Grace's first bar routine in a couple of weeks. First time out of quarantine. Beautiful connection. Oh, just had to touch her feet to the mat just a little bit. And again, that might just be an endurance thing. She hasn't been able to practice, so. And a beautiful double lay to finish.
That was Grace Valancourt.
It's good to have her back in the lineup. It's such a difficult, strong routine, beautiful lines. And it's hard, she started out the season and was pretty much gone for the middle of the season, and now she's coming back in at the end. It's not an easy position to be in.
And it'll be Allison Zulke to finish things off now for Towson on the bars. And Temple all done on the vault. Their scores are in. Try to pull them up. So on the vault for Temple, Shugman with a 9.85. That's the high for the Owls. 9.825s from Roland Castrance and Brooks. And the 9.75 for Newland, 9.725 for Edwards. Vitoff will be on top of the vault, followed by Shugman and Brooks and Roland and Castrance.
Looks like it's still a decent score for Grace. We are at a little bit of an awkward angle, so maybe I was wrong about her feet not touching.
I couldn't see because I should have stood up. We're sitting on a concourse and there's a railing that's right at my eyesight unless I stand and kind of go on my tiptoes.
As here we go with Zulke. And a fall for Zulke, and this has been a rough rotation for Towson on the bars. 2 falls now for the Tigers.
Beautiful pack salto down to the low bar. Gonna finish up with a blindfold double. Pretty good landing.
Zulke. So that'll wrap us up now here on the second rotation. A rough one for the Tigers as Temple was solid all the way through theirs on the vault. Take another look at Zulke as we head out to break. You're watching Towson Gymnastics on the Towson Sports Network.
Hey Tiger fans, our next rotation is balance beam. Standing 4 feet tall and only 4 inches wide, this event requires strength and focus while showing off our tumbling skills, both in the air and on the beam. Our routines will include turns, leaps, and dance elements as well, and will last no longer than 90 seconds. Wobbles and balance checks need to be avoided, as they will always result in a deduction. Fans, even though we are concentrating and you are at home, we need you now more than ever to cheer us on. Let's go, Tigers!
Welcome back to the Towson Sports Network. Ben Rosenbaum, Tandy Knight, Zoe Packard. Tigers, they don't have the bar scores up yet for Towson, so I'm not sure, but you do have to imagine Temple is leading still following just a rough bars rotation for the Towson Tigers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was talking to one of my teammates about this, and bars is probably Towson's weakest events, and I'm air quoting that. Not because of difficulty. They have the skills. It's the consistency on bars that they need to work on. And this is a young team. They will get there. It's just going to take more time in the gym, more time bonding together. I would rather see them throwing these big skills and big release moves than doing a safe routine any day of the week. So they'll figure it out. They've had, moments of brilliance on bars, and then some meets that haven't been so good, like tonight, unfortunately. We are going to have to count 2 falls, basically. So that's a point. That's a huge, huge hit. But we'll see what the team is made of as we go to beam, which is their strongest event.
Yeah.
And, I really hope to see them just put bars behind and focus on beam and go out and do what they know how to do.
Temple will be on the bars. Towson will be on beam. Beam lineup is as follows: Bolin, Vitov, Zulke, Wheats, Hurst, Cassidy Stewart, and Giroux will be in an exhibition. On the bars for Temple will be Oster, Whalen, Edwards, Castrance, Smith, Brooks, and Schuckman in an exhibition. We get ready to go here, kick things off with Lauren Bolin.
Beautiful layout step out right there to start off. A little shuffle of her feet on her front toss, but I think she'll be given the connection.
Yeah, I agree.
Beautiful leaps. Beautiful stuck landing. Again, Lauren is just, you can't ask for a better lead off from Lauren. There's nothing else to say. She just hits every time.
Well, and she really displays that confidence up there. She has great form, great presence on beam. Always a good start off. Tkachev seemed a little close to the bar there.
This is Jordan
Pulled it off.
Oster.
Overshoot to handstand. Setting up for a dismount, flying full into a double tuck, slight hop on the landing, but a great start on bars for Temple.
One more look at Oster as the score comes in for
just the slightest of hops.
Bolin. Looks like it should score well. Vithoff will be next for the Tigers. And that is Waylon, who will be next for Temple on the bars.
All right, well, while we're waiting, I'd like to say hi to Wendy Chalmers, Hall of Famer, superstar. Thanks for watching, Wendy.
And Zoe, you had a little reaction there to the Bolin score.
Yeah, it looks like one judge gave her a 9.8 and the other one has given her a 9.6, and there's a start value that is, I believe, to be wrong. So, and we just saw Jay walk over to the head judge, so I'm sure he's gonna point out the mistake and get that figured out.
Yeah, he made it over there pretty quickly as Vithoff gets started. Waylon still has yet to begin on bars.
Beautiful triple flight from Cammie. Coming in as a freshman, Cammie was not expected to be in the beam lineup. And one week she walked up to Ashley and said, I can do this. And ever since then, she's been in the beam lineup. Beautiful switch. She's had a little trouble on that this season, but it looks like she's got it pretty down. Just gonna set up for the dismount.
Waylon underway.
And a side aerial tuck pull.
Nice.
That was a solid routine from Vithoff.
Nice big Tkachev on bars for Temple. Head to the dismount here. Oh, another nice full-in dismount. Little step on the landing. Great difficulty in that bar routine, though.
Zulke will be next on beam for Towson. Vithoff's had a nice meet so far. Been solid all the way through with, you look back at the vault, a 9.875 and 9.85 on bars. .985 for Vithoff.
Judging seems to be slow tonight.
Very slow tonight.
Okay, it's not just me.
No, yeah, I thought I said it earlier. It just seemed like we hit.
This almost feels like it's a meet with 4 teams. It seems like it's taking forever.
As Tori Edwards awaits the go-ahead on bars. It's been every apparatus, too. It's been slow as Zulke now ready.
Beautiful full turn. And believe it or not, those can be extremely difficult. Oh.
Ah.
A fall for Zulke. She tried to keep it going.
Nice leap series to recover. Beautiful switch leg aerial. That's an E level skill.
And roll into solid bar routine as Temple continues.
And a nice 1.5 to finish. Just not her night tonight, but you know what? She's just a freshman. Freshmen are still trying to figure everything out. They've gone through a lot this year with COVID. They have not had a normal experience whatsoever.
No.
So
let's take a quick look at Roland here. If you see another look at Zulke, Roland, or excuse me, not Roland, Tori Edwards with a really nice routine on bars for Temple.
Starts out with a Tkachev. Short on that handstand. Hits the overshoot to hand. Short again on that handstand, but a big dismount coming up. See this big double layout. Nice stretch throughout the entire skill. Good landing. Great routine.
Wheats will be next.
Looks like we got a 9-8 for Temple on bars.
They're not quite turning that board all the way around for us to see. Zoe, did you catch
I didn't catch that one.
over on beam? So we'll have to get back to you on the Zulke score. She did have a fall, but this is Jenna Wheats.
Nice switch leap, standing layout, step out to a split jump.
Beautiful.
That leap combination gets her quite a bit of bonus. Beautiful front aerial. Nice layout step out. Had a slight bobble, but she covered it pretty well.
Yep.
Jenna's definitely one of those athletes I would want up next after a fall. And a stuck
Beautiful.
dismount.
Nice recovery for Wheats on the beam for the Tigers. We'll take a look at Castrance on the bars a moment ago for Temple. Emerson Hurst will be next up. Here's Castrance on the bars from a couple moments ago.
Some big moves here. Some form breaks throughout. I'd like to see her clean it up. Leg separation. But powerful routine. You'll see a big dismount coming up here. Temple is on fire.
They really are. Looks like Jenna has a 9.825 from one judge and a 9.8 from the other one.
This is Nicole Smith. Hurst just about set to start here on bars, or on beam, excuse me.
Setting up. Nice stick on the dismount for Temple.
Cut over to Hurst.
Beautiful full turn.
Love the control.
Solid flick lay. The toe point, her knees are locked out. I can't find anything that would be wrong with that. Beautiful switch. Slight bobble if I'm being really picky. But with Emerson, you kind of have to be really picky. There's not much there.
There's not much to pick at, yeah.
Nice front aerial to a split jump.
Dismount for Hurst.
Nice.
Just amazing. I don't know what else to say. It's just amazing.
I think she said, I want to do better than I did last week when I got my 9.975. I don't know. The judges tonight have been a little tight, so I don't know. But I don't see why that couldn't at least be a 9-9.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring up last weekend and her beam routine until she was done because I didn't want to jinx anything.
No jinxing, that's
but
right.
But Emerson did get a 10-0 from one judge last weekend and is now the record holder in Towson history for the balance beam.
Yep. And it was a well-deserved 10-0.
Well, she's got a 9-9 from one and a 9-9 from the other. So as good as you can ask for from her, says this is Madison Brooks.
Big Tkachev. Overshoot slightly short of the handstand. Short again on that handstand. Some form breaks there.
We're up to it.
Sorry.
We were watching live, Tandy. I was doing it too.
I know, sorry.
Cassidy Stewart going on beam.
Slight bobble on her series. Nice front toss. I mean, Cassie is just a freshman, and being an anchor on balance beam as a freshman is no easy feat whatsoever.
Especially when there's a fall in front of you.
Nice switch side. Doesn't seem to be affecting her at all tonight. Setting up for the dismount here. Beautiful round off 1.5 with a stuck landing. Great way to finish off balance beam. And again, with a freshman going after a fall, that just builds their confidence even more. And the more confidence you get, the better you are.
That's right.
So I think we are down to the exhibitions now here for both sides. Shugman will be exhibitioning on bars, and on beam it'll be Sarah Giroux. This is Shugman.
Ginger a little close to the bars, but not good catch, follow through. Hack salto into a free hip circle. Short on that handstand. Oh, had planned to do a giant full there. You know what? I give her credit for that cover. She was supposed to do a blind full right into her double tuck. She missed it and basically did a double flyaway out of an extra swing. So impressive. Good for her. And that was just an exhibition, I believe, for Temple.
Correct.
So that's a routine they have in their back pocket should they need it.
This is Giroux in an exhibition spot for Towson.
Nice jump combo. And these exhibition spots are really great for the athlete just to get their feet wet, get out there, get experience. And again, the more you make your beam routine in a competition setting, the more confident you will be and the more likely you're gonna break into that lineup. Nice flick lay. So it looks like a straddle quarter. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone take a jump out of a layout step out before.
Yeah.
Side aerial to a layout full and another stuck dismount.
Wow.
Sarah Giroux finishes up We'll step aside here on the Towson Sports Network. Final rotation coming up here.
Hey Tiger fans, our final rotation is the floor exercise. Floor is an opportunity to show our individual personalities combining dance elements with exciting tumbling and acrobats. We are required to have at least 2 tumbling passes and each routine will last no longer than 90 seconds. We have to pay attention to the map boundaries. If we step out of bounds or are out of sync with the music, deductions will be taken from the overall score. Fans, this is your chance to really get behind us. We love putting on a show for you. When you hear the tiger roar sound, you know we are about to start our routine. Even from home, clap along with the music and dance in your seat. Each of us has a special TU in our routine, so keep an eye out for that. Hope you are ready to be entertained. Let's go Tigers!
Welcome back. Final rotation here on Towson Sports Network. Ben Rosenbaum, Tandy Knight, Zoe Packard. We do have all the scores now officially from the beam for Towson. It was a 9-7 for Bolin, a 9-8-5 for Vidoff, a 9-2-2-5 for Zolke, a 9-8-2-5 for Wheats, a 9-9 for Hurst, and a 9-7-7-5 for Cassidy Stewart. On bars, on bars for Temple, a 9-8 for Tori Edwards, a 9-8-5 for Castrans, a 9-7-2-5 for Brooks, a 9-6-5 for Oster, a 9-8-2-5 for Whalen and Smith. Vitoff is still the high. She ties with Castrans at 9-8-5 on the bars. Hurst and Temple hasn't gone on beam, so I won't even say it. Ahead of myself. Here we go on floor. Lauren Bolin will start it off once more for Towson. Oster's on beam for Temple.
Lauren opens with a beautiful double tuck. Can't see this because it's off camera, but the entire team is lined up and doing the choreography along with Lauren. It's absolutely adorable.
And you couldn't see it too.
Yeah,
she was playing off our Hurst in the corner a second ago.
Going for her last pass. Front layout, front full, very nice control. And as usual, starting off strong, Lauren Bolin for Towson.
That's Bolin. We'll take another quick look at Bolin, and then we'll give you the replay of Oster on the beam.
You see her last pass there, front layout, front full.
It did look like during the break as well, Jay Ramirez had the iPad that films the routines from beam, and 2 judges were reviewing one, so there could be changes coming to the beam scores, because this is Oster.
Nicely out step out.
Yeah, Jay's been running back and forth all night. I think I've seen at least 3 inquiries, maybe more. Reminds me of Coach Filbert. He's channeling that spirit, fight for every 10th.
Nice jump combo.
Jenna Wheat's now set to go on floor.
Looks like a 9-8-5 for Lauren.
Front through to double tuck for Jenna. Landed just slightly low, chest down, took a step forward. Great jumps. For someone so tiny, she gets great amplitude and height on her leaps and jumps. Finishes with a double pike. She gets an extra 10th of bonus for finishing with a double summy on her last pass.
It's Jenna Wheats for the Tigers, and Donna Bedian with a huge dismount over on beam for Temple. Take one more look at Jenna Wheats. Shugman will be next on beam, following a really nice routine from Donna Bedian.
Looks like Temple's leadoff got a 9-7.
This is Amy Stewart, and there was a change in the floor lineup right before we started too for Towson. Amy was a little bit lower. She got bumped up to 3. Emerson Hurst we'll also see later. She was not originally in the lineup.
Opens with a front layout, front 1.5 twist. Unfortunately,
out.
Both feet went out of bounds. So they'll take a deduction after they score the routine. Very nice double tuck for her middle pass.
That's Amy Stewart.
Amy has been so consistent on floor this year. I mean, just so beautiful to watch. She's really contributed a lot to the floor squad this year.
This is Shugman for Temple.
Nice side summy. We might have missed it, but she had a beautiful front aerial to a front aerial landing on one leg as her acro series. Going for a round off 1.5. Almost had the landing, just a slight hop.
Another look at Shugman.
Looks like the Temple gymnast before her went 9.625.
Nikki Borkowski next up on the floor for the Tigers.
Nikki opens with a big double tuck. I love, she rises on the second summy. I love that. And now you see her personality come out. is always a fun floor routine to watch.
Even during practice, Nikki's always dancing.
Yeah.
She doesn't stop.
And her routine is actually choreographed by former assistant coach from back in my day, Linda Filbert. Finishes with a great double pike. Oh,
That's
what a great
Borkowski.
routine.
And Zoe, you mentioned a couple of times now that the energy needed to get picked up for Towson. I mean, it's a little late, but now the energy's coming out
It's
for the
coming
Tigers.
out. They're doing better. It's always hard. After a rotation like bars, you just have to kind of forget that it happened and then move on. And of course, when you have beam after a rotation like bars, it doesn't make it any easier, but I'm glad that they were able to step up and get through beam, and now they're able to just have fun on floor. And trust me, this team loves to dance. They love to perform. And now that they have family here, they get to perform for their family members, so they're going to have a good time.
This is, I believe it's Roland. Paige Casper is set to go here on floor as well.
Nice double pike. Front layout to front full.
Paige Casper.
Big last pass there on floor. Great job for Paige.
Take one more look.
Big double tuck and great landing. Can't ask for anything else than that.
Over on beam is Castrance.
Nice layout step out. The last routine for Temple went 9.825, so they're definitely having a good night. Difficult leap series.
We have Emerson up on
Merce.
floor. Huge double pike. And Emerson's personality is definitely going to come out here. Gorgeous extension on those leaps and jumps. Front full, stumbled on that landing there. away for her last pass. Big double tuck. She stayed in bounds. I'm not sure how,
I don't know how she did that.
Wow, great routine. I think this is only the second time Emerson has competed floor this season. I wish we could have seen it all season long. It's such a fun routine. She's a beautiful tumbler and dancer. So your whole foot has to go past the white line to be out of bounds. She touched the white line but didn't go over it, so I think she's good.
So here is Waylon. She gets set to go on beam.
Previous routine went 9.725, I believe.
And that will do it for the Tigers on floor, I believe. They originally had Hurst in an exhibition spot, but switched things up. I don't see anybody getting set to go here for the Tigers, but meanwhile, Waylon on the beam. Yeah, that'll do it for Towson.
I thought she had that.
Yeah, she was fighting.
I believe that that is the only fall I've seen from Temple all night, actually.
Yeah.
Nice switch leap half. Setting up for the dismount. Cartwheel 1.5.
In a tucked position.
you
I always think twisting in a tucked position is harder.
Yeah, way more difficult.
That'll be the last routine that counts tonight. We'll see Delaney Guerin in a exhibition for the Owls. The Tigers are all done, as you see, and Coach Jay Ramirez talking to his squad. It's a rough night for the Towson, especially in that bars routine area. I mean, how do you bounce back now? You hear coaches all the time in other sports talk about, you throw the game film away and you just kind of move on if it's kind of a one-off. What do you do here for Towson as you get set for just 2 days from now?
You know, they really just had one bad event. Strong vault, great beam. There was a fall, but we didn't have to count it. Beautiful floor as always. Bars has been their tricky event all season, and it's just going to take more time. It's such a young team. They're throwing big skills, and the more time they get in the gym and the more practice, they're going to get better at it. I just know it. I think they need to rest. I feel like their energy level, Zoe and I were talking, seemed definitely a little lower tonight, and understandably so. They have had a crazy amount of meets in a short period of time at the end of the season, and a season that's not been like any other. So I think one of the things that Jay and Ashley are so good at is reminding these young ladies how good they really are. And you're not going to have a perfect meet every time. That's impossible. So they're hopefully going to get some rest and come back out strong on Sunday for the senior meet, heading into their postseason afterwards.
And Zoe, you know this team as well as anybody. The personalities of the girls, what do you expect from them, your teammates last year? What do you expect to see from them in 2 days?
They're going to bring it on Sunday. I mean, senior night is always special. The atmosphere is there. They're going to do it for Tess, and they're going to do it for Kyla. And I know after tonight, they're going to get a good rest tomorrow. They always have the day off. They'll do some treatment, and they're going to come back ready to prove themselves again on Sunday. And I have no doubt that they're going to do that.
This is Guerin in an exhibition for Temple, just confirming the first three scores here on the floor for Towson. A 9.85 for Bolin, a 9.825 for Wheats, and a 9.7 for Amy Stewart. And she did step out as well.
Yeah.
Triple flight. So handspring, layout, step out. Looks like she had no problem. jump. Nice jump combo. Looks like a solid exhibition so far, and that's what you want. If your exhibitions can hit, that means you just have a more in-depth lineup.
Yeah.
Aerial tuck
That's
pull.
your exhibition routine. Wow.
All right. That is Garen, and that'll do it for our meet here tonight. We'll step aside. We do expect perhaps to see maybe a score change or two after at least one challenge we saw from Coach Ramirez. So we'll step aside here on the Towson Sports Network. Welcome back to the Towson Sports Network. It looks like final scores are in here for the Tigers and Owls, is what we can assume, although it does look like Towson's score just bumped up again while I started talking. But what we have in front of us at the moment on vault, we'll go apparatus by apparatus, starting on the vault. In third place, a three-way tie with 9.825s, all from Temple, Castrance, Rowland, and Brooks. In second, also from Temple, is Renee Shugman with a 9.85. In first place tonight on the vault from the Towson Tigers is Camille Vitoff with a 9.875. As we move over to bars, starting a two-way tie for third, or a tie for third. It's been a long day. 9.825, both from Temple, from Nicole Smith and Whalen, and a tie for first between a Tiger and an Owl from Temple, Castrance, from Towson, Vitoff, each with a 9.85, and that is on the bars. Moving over to Beam, a tie for third place with 9.825s from Temple is Juliana Rowland, and from Towson, Jenna Wheats with a 9.825 each. In second place from Towson with a 9.85 is Camille Vitoff. And in first place from the Towson University Tigers with a score of a 9.9 is Emerson Hurst. Over on the floor, a three-way tie for third with 9.85s each is Castrance, Donna Bedian from Temple each, and Bolin from Towson. And a tie for first from Temple, Faith Leary, from Towson, Nikki Borkowski, each with a 9.875. In the all-around, it was basically a duel between Castrance and Lauren Bolin. Castrance edges out Lauren Bolin. Bolin with a 3.9 and Castrance with a 3.925. And that brings us to the final team stats. Temple will edge out the Tigers with a 195.925, Towson with a 195.4, and we've been saying that a rough night for Towson, but it really was that bars rotation that did the Tigers in tonight.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out a 195.4 is a good score, and they counted 2 falls.
Yep.
So this is a 196 meet for them. If they'd even caught one of those bars, if they only had to count 1 fall on bars. And that just goes to show you how strong this team is. There would have been a time 2 or 3 seasons ago where they could have hit a perfect meet and not gotten a 195.4. And so I really hope that these ladies go back and look at this like, yeah, we didn't have our best meet, but look how good we can be when we're not even close to perfect. So imagine how great we're going to be when we put it all together. It's very impressive score tonight.
Zoe, your thoughts?
First, I would like to give a shout out to Temple. They did great tonight. Credit is deserved for them. A 195.925. I'm pretty sure that's a season high for them. If not, it has to be up there, which is great. We love to see all the teams in Eagles stepping up. So it's just really exciting. And as for Towson, a 195.4 is not a bad score whatsoever. So to do that with not your best bars lineup, it's pretty impressive, and I know that Sunday's going to come. They're going to get their day off tomorrow. They're going to rest, and they're going to come in ready to fight on Sunday. So I'm sure it'll be even better then.
Yeah.
And again, as Zoe said, we have one more, and I just very quickly scanned Temple's schedule. This is a season high for the Owls of 195.925 for Temple tonight as they edge out Towson 195.4. That'll do it for us. Our next broadcast is in 2 days from now. It'll be senior night for the Towson University Tigers. Tess Yentek and Kyla Gamble being honored as seniors for Towson. We will see the University of New Hampshire. We will see Temple, and it remains to be seen again the news from earlier today. GW, who was here, had to leave due to COVID. They are scheduled to be here on Sunday. We will see what Sunday will bring as the days go on, and of course Towson and Temple will both get into their protocols as well, just to be sure. And we hope all is well with the Colonials over at GW. So that'll do it for us tonight. That next meet, 4 o'clock, will be live here, 3:45 on TowsonTigers.com and on YouTube. Most of you watching on there, taking advantage of that platform. For Zoe Packard and Tandy Knight, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. And as always, go Tigers.
Thanks for tuning in to support your Towson Tigers gymnastics team. We appreciate your support now more than ever and more than you know during this time. We can't wait to have you back in the stands, but can feel the love from miles away. Keep it up and we'll keep bringing you exciting gymnastics. Don't forget to follow and tag us on social media. We love staying connected to our fans. Be safe and stay healthy.